Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Drew's Food Reviews. And today I've got another episode of Classic Candy Corner. Found this one, where did I find it? Grocery outlet. I was in my grocery outlet and I was going down there and I found this one. I hadn't seen these for a long time. And I haven't seen them like in the regular grocery stores, I don't think. Or Target or Walmart. And I remember these from when I was little. And I'll get into a little story, but these are the O. Henry bars. O. Henry. And I don't know if you guys remember this, these came along the same time at the Reggie bar. Although the Reggie bar, I like the Reggie bar. That was like, you know, peanuts and caramel, and it was like a little flat patty. And that was popular. Unfortunately, it didn't stay around very long. About as long as Reggie played for the Oakland A's and Yankees, and then he disappeared. But speaking of that, I have a little story to tell you. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this one. This says it's 2 peanutty caramel fudge bars and milk chocolate. So I don't remember getting these all that often. So it's peanuts and fudge. Bar, kind of like a Baby Ruth, I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't really remember. I don't know that I got it all the often. Oh wow, these are like way smaller than I remember, man. These are 2 of these. They're almost like Snicker bars, except a little different. Well, let's go ahead. Okay, yeah. There you go. It's almost like a Snickers bar, except it's a little different. There's a lot more of that nougat in the middle, and a little bit of caramel on top. It's real close to a Snickers bar, almost identical. And I think it was because they named it after Henry Aaron. Hank Aaron. And that seemed to be like when they had the candy bars they named after the baseball players, Baby Ruth. Although I heard that was named after, well, Snickers was named after a horse, and I think Baby Ruth was named after somebody's kid. I don't know the exact details of it, but the O. Henry bar, I probably had them in my day. Like I said, I like the Reggie bar. I much preferred Reggie bar. And I'll tell you guys a little story. I've told this in the other lives, my lives before, but I guess some of the people that maybe weren't in those ones wouldn't know about this one. So when I was a little kid, probably like 5 years old maybe, my parents took me to an Oakland A's game, and I didn't know anything about baseball at the time. And we were sitting like, I think it was like the first base line, and I saw some guy warming up. And I pointed to him and I said, you know, hey Mom, who's that guy? And I said, I think he's a good player. I didn't know anything about players. I didn't know anything about stats. I didn't know anything about, you know, who had the most home runs or who was the best player. I said, who's that guy down there? He looks like he's going to be a good player. Well, it turns out it was Reggie Jackson. And I think he ended up, that particular day, I think he ended up getting a couple home runs, or at least 1 home run. And I was always like, well, that's pretty cool. So, you know, that I kind of predicted that, you know, he was going to be as big as he was back in there. This was probably like 72, 73. That was back when the A's were like big, you know, World Series champs like 3 years in a row. But that was pretty cool. So I kind of predicted that. But the good part, the part that really stands out, and my parents tell me this, and like I said, I wish we would have brought a camera, or I wish they would have had cell phones back then. They could have videotaped this. And little did I know this was going to happen. We were at the game, and back in '72, they had the mascot of the Oakland A's was the donkey, and it was named Charlie O. The owner was Charlie Finley, or Charlie O. Finley, I think his name was. And he owned the team, and they had a donkey for a mascot. It was Charlie O. Well, they brought Charlie O out onto the field, and they said, who wants to ride the donkey? And my dad was out there, and he hung me over the rails and said, here, he wants to ride. So they brought the donkey up over. They put me on the donkey, and I got to ride the donkey, Charlie O, around the, like, a little bit of the infield, and it was on, like, the big screen for everybody. And then they, they took me off, and then they put another kid on there and let them ride around a little bit. It was pretty cool. I got to ride on Charlie O, back when I was like 5 years old. And like I said, I wish we would have been able to take a picture or a video, and I had the proof, because people say, nah, you never did that. Well, I know I did, but I can't prove it. But it was fun. And like I said, that was kind of I used to go to the baseball games when I was little, and I was a lot more into it. And as I got older, I kind of got away from the whole baseball thing. But when you're a little kid, you collect baseball cards, and you have all the candies, Baby Ruth, Reggie bars, O. Henry, I don't know, the Big League Chew Gum, all that stuff that was centered around the baseball tie-in. Cracker Jacks, that's a classic one, Cracker Jacks, baseball, and apple pie. And, they're all classic. And like I said, the O. Henry, I don't remember it too much, but I just saw it in the store, and I was like, this would make a cool review of this one. So if you can find these, and, you kind of were into that. And like I said, this is a lot like a Baby Ruth, just a little bit different. Go ahead and give it a try. I don't think it has quite as much nuts in it as like a Baby Ruth or a Snickers. So if you can find these, go ahead and give them a try. Let me know if you remember these from when you were little. And I know some of the younger kids probably would not know this one. And they'd probably know the traditional ones, Baby Ruth and Hershey bars or whatever. But I thought it was kind of cool to go over this one and talk about my baseball stories and all that. So it was just a fun little time. Remembering back to my old childhood, the candies I grew up with, the games that I went to, the things I kind of did when I was a lot younger. And it seemed a lot simpler back then, not like now. But then again, when it was simpler, we didn't have all the stuff that we have. And it would have been cool to have had a video camera or something back in the day when I was little to record the moments. But the times were a lot simpler, and they didn't have all that stuff. So it's kind of a trade-off. You either have the technology like you have today, or you have the simpler, easier times where just going to a baseball game or going to the park was a lot more fun, with your family. Quality time, family time. And with today's fast-paced society, and everybody's got the cell phone, and they've got to tweet and Twitter and do all that stuff. And sometimes thinking back to when it was a lot simpler, and your childhood, and it was just friends, riding big wheels down the street, or going to a baseball game, or going down to the market to collect the baseball cards. They don't do that much anymore. Or just get candy with your friends. And it's just a lot more complicated now. But every once in a while you go back and you remember some of the things from when your childhood, and you have your memories, and that's a good thing. So that's what I'm kind of trying to do with some of the series here, the Classic Candy Corners. I'm going back and kind of reflecting on the things that I grew up with, and just the kind of candies and items that I found back from when I was little, and it kind of sparks some memories. And it's fun to reminisce about stuff like that. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the notification bell right over there. That way you won't miss any future content, or when I go live, you won't miss any of the fun. And like I said, I'm always on the lookout for Classic Candy Corners candies. So if you know of any of them that I maybe haven't tried, leave them in a comment down below. Or maybe if you know where I can find them, or if you know of anybody that sells them or a website that sells them, I could try to kind of track them down. So let me know. And there's still some elusive ones I'm still looking for, but I will find them. I have certain skills. I will track them down. I'm only an average person with certain skills, and I will track the candies down. There's no hiding from me. I will find you classic candies. They will not be taken. So anyways, till next time on Drew's Food Reviews, when I'll be trying something new and classic for you. And hopefully I won't be having too much sugar like I did today, and I'm a little bit goofy. So until next time on Drew's Food Reviews, this has been another episode of Classic Candy Corner, and I'll talk to you later.